Hey folks, thank you for tuning in. I'm Priyansh from Team SigNoz, and in this video, we'll be monitoring your Django application performance with OpenTelemetry. So let's get started. Now you can read about Django over here. What is OpenTelemetry Django? Sample Django application and running Django application with OpenTelemetry. So before we dive in, there are 4 things that I need to tell you that we'll be doing in this video. First, we'll install SigNoz, then we'll clone the sample Django application that we have provided, and then we will instrument the Django application with OpenTelemetry and SigNoz, and then use SigNoz Dashboard to view traces and metrics. So let's first clone SigNoz over here. You can install SigNoz on Mac OS or Linux computers in just 3 easy steps. If you are on Mac OS, you need to have Docker Desktop installed before running the script. So as you can see, I have SigNoz demo directory in my desktop folder. Let me copy content over here, enter, and this will install SigNoz for me. It will just take a few seconds, and yeah, it's currently detecting my OS, starting Docker. Then it will pull some images, make containers, and then we'll be good to go. So I'll skip to the step where SigNoz is installed on my system. I'm using M1 MacBook Air. All right, so installation of SigNoz is complete. We get a success message. Your installation is complete. The front end is running on localhost 3301, which we'll look in a while. First, let me share my email ID real quick. All right, that's done. Thank you. So let me show you the UI. So when you first install SigNoz and click to the localhost 3301, you'll get this login screen. So SigNoz kind of provides role-based access control features. So you can create an account with admin access and then invite your team members to collaborate. So since I have my login credentials, I log in. If you are the admin, create an account, or if you're not the admin, then ask your admin for invite link. So this is the first screen that you will see after logging in. What you currently see on the screen are the 4 applications that come with the hot rod demo application that we ship with SigNoz. You can also install SigNoz without them. Instructions for it are in the documentation in the signoz.io website. So let's go back to the blog and follow along with the steps. So now we need we need a Django application to instrument, and for that you can go and click and check out the GitHub repository over here. Sample Django, which we have prepared for you. It's already instrumented. So just clone it and cd into the sample Django application. Let me use this terminal. All right, done. We are into sample Django directory, then installing the necessary OpenTelemetry and Python packages. So pip3 install -r requirements.txt. Let's do that here. As you can see, it says requirement already satisfied because these packages are already on my system. If you're doing this for the first time, you might see something different. Okay, so here's a snapshot of the packages. You then install application specific packages. So this command figure out which instrumentation packages the user might want to install, and it installs it for them. So let's copy it and paste it down below. It's barely visible. But yeah, it works. Okay, so that is done, and then we have to prepare our Django application. So for that, we need to migrate the initial database. So you will only need to do this for the first time you deploy your app. So Python 3 manage.py migrate. Yeah, and let's copy the command. Okay, migration successfully done. Go back to the blog, and then we need to collect static files from multiple apps into a single path. And for that, we need to run this command. Back over here, paste it over here. And yeah, as you can see, 135 static files copied to this and 408 post processed. And then the following command creates a user. So we need to create a super user, which will interact with this UI, which will be interacting in a while. So enter, and then we need to create a username for it. So let me create the username as Priyansh, email address. Right, password will be just password, and it will be, yeah, the password is way too common, so we accept that. You can create a super unhackable password if you wish to. Then yeah, we also need to configure the environment variables to run the app and send data to SigNoz. So there are a couple of things which you need to set. First of all, the service name, which you can name it anything you want. Then OTL exporter, OTLP endpoint. So in this case, the IP of the machine where SigNoz is installed. So let me show you. Scroll a bit, and where you see the IP of SigNoz, will be putting localhost over here because SigNoz is installed locally on my machine. If SigNoz is on your hosted custom domain, then that domain address will be over here. If you are using SigNoz on some virtual machine or cloud, then IP of that machine will be over here. So rest everything, we have named it Django App, and the Django setting module will be my site dot settings, and that's pretty much it. We need to copy this command and it will run our Django application. Here everything is fine. Yeah, hit enter. All right, seems like the app is running. Go back, click over here. Okay, so let me put in my Priyansh password, log in. Yeah, we logged in, and we just have to create some telemetry data, so interact with uh, this app quite a number of bits. So as you can see, we are hitting auth group, then auth user, auth group, auth user. You can also create something. Let me add a group. We call it ABC. I can do these things, privileges, and save. All right, done. So let me, yeah, now let me open up SigNoz dashboard at 3301, and you will have a quick look of, yeah, as you can see, the Django app is over here. If you do not see the service listed over here, refresh it for a couple number of times and you will see it over here. So as you can see, we have P99 latency, error rate, request per second, kind of RED metrics that we ship SigNoz with. So let's click on the microservice, and yeah, this is the overall metrics: the application latency, request, stop, endpoint. And yeah, these are the endpoints that we hit. We went to login, then auth, and etc, etc. So you can also click on this point and view traces for it, or click on any one of the endpoint and view traces for it. So as soon as I click over here, you can see we moved from services to traces tab, and we have quite powerful filters towards the left. You can sort by service names, operation, HTTP codes, or at the top of it by the function of rate per second, sum of duration, average duration, max duration, or group by service names, operation, etc, etc. So these are the traces. You can sort by duration, by the date. So let's click on one of the trace, and yeah, we are currently on the trace details page. It has this trace over here, has 6 spans associated with it. This is the main span, and these are kind of sub spans that take up very little processing time. So let's click on one of the trace, and towards the right you can see the tags associated with that trace. There's a DB statement for it, which is using SQLite for it, and the language, SDK name, etc, versions, etc, etc. And yeah, this is pretty much it. If you want to know a full trace details page, how it looks like with like 100 spans, so go to services, click on front end, the dummy app that we ship with SigNoz, click on the trace and any of the trace for one. And yeah, this is pretty nice looking Gantt chart and flame graph view. The red ones that you see over here, the red spans, are actually the error spans. I get these details because if I click on it, go to events, and the error says it's a Redis timeout error. So there are 3 Redis timeout error that are prepared for you. Yeah, Redis error, Redis error, Redis error. And yeah, that's pretty much it. If you want to have a focused view, as there are 51 spans, you also can have 100 spans or 1000 spans. So if you want to just look at a few number of spans, click on the 15 spans, go to focus on selected span, and then you will all only see these 15 spans. So yeah, you can play around with the traces tab and all these functions and look for yourself. So that's it for this video. If you have questions about SigNoz or this video, comment down below, or reach out to our Slack community channel, a place where we discuss things around open source, observability, and APM. Links to everything will be in the description below. I'm looking forward to your feedback on how we can make SigNoz better. And with that, I'll see you in the next one. Goodbye.